So some further thoughts I thought I'd put out there again on this comparison of rock and roll and hip hop because I get very aggravated personally when I think as many similarities as there are that exist between rock and roll and hip hop, there are also serious differences that people really just don't want to acknowledge these days. Like a lot of people you talk to, and they're kind of like, yeah, anyone who's angry about rap is just a racist who doesn't want to accept that music changes. Rap is just a new rock. Rap is not the new rock, and in many ways it's not. In some ways it is. Again, I don't want to take that away. I said in the last video, in some ways it is, but in some ways it's not. And here's the key reason why it is not. Here's the key reason why it's not as fun as rock was back in the day, and why it is not the new rock. This is it. Rock and roll was an international movement. It didn't give a fuck where you were from or what you were about. It would accept you. Hip hop is not that thing. Why is hip hop not that thing? Hip hop is obsessed with locality. Hip hop is obsessed with, you from St. Louis? You from Baltimore? You from Miami? You from Orlando? Which hard city are you from? Because if you're not from a hard city, fuck you. Rock and roll doesn't do this stupid game. In fact, rock and roll was not only international in the sense that you could be from Los Angeles, you could be from Miami, you could have been from St. Louis, you could have been from London, and if you had to speak English, it's true. But once you took that out of the equation, rock and roll didn't give a flying fuck where you were from. You could be from Australia, anywhere, you're in. All you had to do is sing some songs in English, you're in, come along. And not only did it accept you for that, rock and roll did something else that was just insane. It also accepted almost people from any social class. And what that means is that if you showed up to a rock band and you played some very interesting, 500-year-old instrument that a hip-hopper would go, only a rich asshole plays that thing, the rock and roll crowd said, come into the band. We love you. We don't give a shit how rich you are, how poor you are. We don't give a shit. Everyone's in this band. You play some crappy snare, and that's all you can play, we might be able to find a spot for you. You play a tambourine, we might be able to find a spot for you. You play the guitar, you play a mandolin, any instrument. And that was where it was kind of displaying that it didn't care about social class. When you look at You Can't Always Get What You Want, it's like this song by the Stones, they have these classical orchestrated instruments in the background. No one even cares. No one's like, oh, this thing reeks of nobility. This reeks of rich people. No, see, rock didn't care. It stole whatever it wanted to steal. It wasn't sitting there going, don't touch that. That's an instrument for the rich folk. It never said that. So it had no judgment in terms of social class. It didn't care rich, middle, poor, nothing. No one cared, and it didn't care about where you were from internationally. In fact, the further away you were from everything, the more rock loved you. And this even goes within the country. So now a lot of the times what you see with hip-hop is not only do you see that they insist that you are an American and that you are from some collapsed inner city, but they also despise you if you're from the country. They despise you. There's no acceptance of it whatsoever. A country-bred rapper. Well, see, what's so awesome about rock, again, is that, here it comes. We got these guys who are coming out of London. Quite a cosmopolitan city. It's thousands of years old. It's infinitely more, quote-unquote, cultured than, St. Louis, I hate to tell you, or Dallas, or even New York City, because it's London, man. It's the Romans settled it over 2,000 years ago. It's been going for a long time. It's an old world city, And here we got these guys who come out of London, Keith Richards, Mick Jagger, the Beatles, and all this. And what happens? They go to our deep south and just, what's up? How you doing? You're in the gang. They just accept it. They don't even think twice about it. They don't say, we don't like you because you're from Texas and we're from London. There's none of this. They admired the deep south. They dug it. They liked it. They admired blacks. They admired the country folks. They admired everybody, rock and roll, the movement as a whole. So it was a much more all-encompassing movement. And then even in the 1970s, we see that they start encompassing aspects of life that it seems that these asshats are still arguing over today. When you see with the LGBT community, when you see all this, when you see the transsexual community, rock and roll had all that in the 1970s, man. If you look at Lou Reed, Take a Walk on the Wild Side. to look at the Kinks, Lola. It was covering all of this. David Bowie with the alien cross-dresser thing that needed going on. I mean, rock and roll encompassed everything. It was not judgmental. It was not really masculine nor feminine. It was androgynous. It was completely in the middle versus this new music. That is the real reason why people don't like it. This hip hop stuff. Okay, it has nothing to do with race or anything like that. It's just it has to do with these ultra archetypes where you can't get out of this one mask. You know, they're just like, you are the soldier for life, the ultra masculine, and you can never remove that mask. And you are supposed to rep Baltimore till the end. So it's this extremely localized music, and it's not its fault. I understand all of that, but it doesn't change the fact that it sucks in comparison to what rock had going for it. And I just hope now that maybe somehow we'll be able to see hip-hop take a turn into becoming not localized, because I don't like localized stuff, you know? I'm not really very patriotic. I don't like just always focusing on the fact that, oh, I'm from New York. You know what I'm saying? I gotta rep Queens all day long, every day, for the rest of my fucking life. Even if I make $500 million, I gotta rep Queens till the end. Nothing but Queens. I mean, it's annoying to me. And that's why, that's Pirates have a lot in common with, rock and roll has a lot in common with Pirates. Because Pirates did the same thing in the 1600s. You see, they said, oh, I'm from Belfast, I'm from London, fuck it. We're going anywhere, though. You see, so it was really all that sort of thing. So that's the beauty of rock, and that's why, Johnny Depp, when you look at Pirates of the Caribbean, he did do a very wonderful thing because he kind of saw this. Because the character Jack Sparrow is famously based off Keith Richards, and he kind of saw that rock and roll had been an international movement like this in the same sense that the pirate movement and the pirate age had been. Because that is known to history as the Great Sailing Age. And basically, the second the rich folks started to sail in these big galleons and vessels and everything, the poor people just started robbing them, otherwise known as commandeering, and they made many songs and everything, so that's actually all tied in, even though it might not seem like it. But anyways, there's the long, short, very quickly told story of it, and that's why it's so different, and that's why I abhor anyone who dares try to say that rap is merely the new rock. Please refrain from saying that isn't the truth. It is not la veritad. Thank you. Ciao.